What's up, beaches, and welcome to this Procreate tips video for noobs by noobs. In case you're wondering, I'm the noob, I'm not a pro. I did a 30-day Procreate challenge where I made one cute illustration over the course of 30 days, which you can see here, and in another video I made. Furthermore, I want this video to serve as a future reference for myself in case I don't practice my Procreate skills in forever, and to anyone else who is just starting out and wants to get a glimpse of or a broad overview of things you will learn and need to know to work with Procreate. Let's begin. When we open the Procreate app, we can make a new canvas by tapping the plus icon right there. And then you just choose the size of the canvas you want. A new canvas will open. To change the background color, tap these two canvases, tap background color, and shift these two dots around. Here you can choose where in the color circle you want to pick a color, and then you start moving this dot around to change the color. And when you are satisfied, you tap outside of the box and you're done. You zoom in and out by pinching and moving your fingers closer together or closer from each other. Pretty straightforward as you're used to it on any device. Brushes are here. You select one by tapping on the brush icon, selecting a type of brush and then the brush you actually want. Choose Studio Pen, just tap it, you tap outside of the library, and then you can go crazy. Let's try another one. We're still in inking section. I'm gonna do the dry ink now. Tap here, and there we go. One more. This because why not? That's how you select a brush. Here we have all the layers. If you want to hide or view them, you can just tick this box. It will still be there, but you won't be drawing it and it won't be visible or in your way. If we want to add a new layer, we tap the plus sign, and then we draw by, well, drawing like we just did. Now, if you're drawing and you made a mistake, this is how you undo it. Or if you want to revert what you did, you can get rid of this for now. We have two sliders on the left. This is for the size of the brush. I will show you. The further you slide it upwards, the bigger your brush will become. So that's that. And here you increase the opacity of the brush from nearly invisible to hard. So here we have the full opacity. And there a bit lighter. I will add another layer and just make a basic shape. So I'm going to tap the plus for a new layer. I'm now going to draw a circle, closing the shape. But you see that this circle is not symmetrical. So how do you get a symmetrical shape? You draw a shape, you close it, you hold, and then you put your finger on the screen. And then move the pen around to increase or decrease the circle. Now we can fill both of these shapes by picking the color you want. So you can change the color if you want, and when you're satisfied, you drag the color into the shape and you let go. But make sure the shape is closed, even when it's outside of the canvas. You can use Alpha Lock to draw on the same layer, but only within the shape that you already made, so only within these circles. You turn Alpha Lock on by either tapping on the layer and then selecting Alpha Lock, or, let me turn it off again, I'll show you. We use two fingers and we swipe the layer to the right. And now let's make a pretend shadow. I'm adjusting the color, choosing a different brush. Even though I'm going far beyond the edges of the shape, my coloring is only within the circle. That is what Alpha Lock does. What we also have is clipping mask. When you put another layer above this layer, and the layer will be clipped onto this layer, and you can then only draw inside this shape, but it will be in a new layer, if that makes sense. I will show you. Adding a new layer. It needs to be on top of layer 3. Turning on Alpha Lock for this. I'm turning on clipping mask for this layer. And choosing a different color. Now it looks like as if I'm drawing inside the other layer from before, but if we look here, we see that these layers are separate. And if we turn this off, we see that it has not affected layer 3. The yellow stripes is on top of the pink layer, the pink circle. What if you have several layers, but you want to turn them into one? Then we can merge the layers. How do we do that? We tap the layers icon. We use two fingers. And we pinch the layers together. Now these are one. Here we have a smudge tool. We're drawing on layer 3 on the circles, and with this finger you can also choose a brush. What you're doing is you're smudging out the colors and turning them more into one. See what happens? So I'm smudging the colors into one whole entity. That was the smudge tool. Next to the smudge tool we have the eraser. Here we have the same principle. For each of these 3 icons, for brushes, smudges and erasers, you can choose how the shape should look from the brushes. I take the dry ink here and I erase a little out of this shape. It will look like this, but if I choose a different brush for the eraser, such as Studio Pen, why not? You will see that it will be erased with a Studio Pen. That was the eraser. I'm gonna put this back for a moment. Here we have the Move tool, or however it is called. With freeform, you make one side longer. As you can see, you're stretching them out. Uniform means you're shifting around the whole thing without stretching the sides at all. So the proportion stays the same if you choose uniform. Distort, well, that was expected. It's fun stuff to play with. We can also flip horizontally, vertically, rotate, anything we want. To turn this off again, the Move tool, we deselect the blue arrow that we chose. And now the normal screen with the sliders is back. If you want to undo what you did in the Move tool, you can tap the back arrow and everything will look like how it did before. Let's make a shadow. I'm gonna add a new layer. I want to drag it below the shapes we already have. I will select a different color. Choose a different brush for inking. I'm gonna go with Studio Pen. I made the shape, I closed it, I held and then put my finger on the screen and moved the pen around to increase or decrease the size of these circles. I want to fill them, so I drag and let go. What I like to do is use the Gaussian blur, which is, if I'm correct, yep, the magic wand, Gaussian blur. And then you move the pencil to the left or right to increase or decrease the blur. Turn the Gaussian blur off by tapping the icon of the magic wand. You can change the opacity of this layer, the N, and then you move this slider to your preferred opacity. And when you're done, what if you want to use this color once more, but you don't know what hex code it is? All we need to do is press and hold, and this color will be selected. What if you want to save colors? I don't know if this is the most efficient or effective or fast way, but we have a lot of space for squares here. And whichever color is selected right now, if we tap on one of these squares, this color will be saved as a color palette so that we can access it more easily later on. If we want to get rid of these colors, we press and hold and delete swatch. And so on. Here, hexadecimal, if we have specific colors, we can add them here. And I always did so by double tapping, pressing the keyboard and just writing whatever hex code I wanted and pressing done. And then you tap to save the square on the color palette.